Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot. We charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text the long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever!
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
It's my favorite episode where I'm always right.
You're always wrong, motherfucker!
Damn it. All right. Well, so it's our Contradictions episode.
Mm-hmm. And pop quiz.
Yeah. And it's our official last episode for Joel.
Another book.
And we'll be starting the 30th book of the Bible after this.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So do you have some good contradictions for us?
No, not really good. No. No.
Wife, always the salesperson on our podcast.
They're not good at all.
And I think we have something else that we're doing. We're doing a pop quiz, right?
I said that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening apparently. So
that's okay. You never listen to me.
So you ready to do this?
Uh-huh.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. Okay, we are here doing our contradictions because you're always wrong, husband. And you know it too. That's why you're laughing. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing. The reason that I said that we don't have a lot of good ones is because there were only 3 chapters in this book.
That's true.
And not a lot was said or done.
And not of substance anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So we only have... There were only 5, and of those, only 1 is even kind of a good question.
I see.
Okay, so let me give you an example. We've done the "is God merciful" question, just so many times.
Right.
And the answer is yes and no, right? Because
and
cherry picking is the point.
1,000,000 times.
Yeah. Another one, does God repent? Yes and no.
Right.
It just depends on which cherry picking
it gets
you're
old
doing.
Covering the same contradictions.
Right.
It's the same thing all through the OT.
It is. And is God good or bad? You know what I mean? Those kind of questions, now that we've done this so many times, is Christians say yes, atheists say no.
So, you're kind of listing them off right now.
Yeah.
But, the truth is that for all those things that you're going to list off, the answer is, and always has been throughout all the books of the Bible, God is both, right? According to the Bible.
Yes.
God, there are contradictions on both sides. So, I see it as, if we've covered it 1,000,000 times, we should still say it, but not like cover it. Right?
And that's why I'm specifically saying it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know the answer.
I mean, we just did a contradictions episode for what was the last book of the Bible? It was Hosea, right? Yeah. And I think all those contradictions were in that contradictions episode as well. So
exactly,
it's one thing if we do a really long book, right, and then get to the end of that one, maybe we can rehash some of the stuff because it's been a while,
right? But
3 chapters does not, like, we just talked about this shit.
Yeah, it doesn't warrant me repeating the same thing from last time.
I agree.
Okay, so but there's the where does God dwell? And we've done that one before, but not ad nauseum.
Sure.
So where does God dwell? And do you want your multiple choices?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either in Zion or in the heavens.
Okay. I mean, according to Joel, I think it was in Zion. So
Right. Yeah. And several verses in Psalms. Yeah. He lives in Zion.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But guess what?
I'm right.
You're always wrong.
I'm always wrong.
Because according to another verse of Psalms, because Psalms versus Psalms.
Yeah.
God dwells in the heavens.
I love it when the same book contradicts itself.
That's the funnest.
Those are the best.
I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. There's another one in Ecclesiastes, but we haven't read that yet.
Okay,
so I just, throwing it out there because there's no... I'm buying time.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
So, okay. So, another question was, will those who call on the Lord be delivered? Multiple choice, yes or no?
Yes.
Not according to Joel.
Really?
Did you want to go with no?
I'm still going to go with yes.
Or no?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay. I actually said that backwards. Yes, that is correct. Joel says yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to argue because, I'm always wrong.
And I'm an idiot. Chapter 2, verse 32 says, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered.
Okay.
And yeah, that is true. But guess what?
I'm wrong.
You're always wrong.
Yeah. All right.
Of course not. Of course, those who call on the Lord won't be delivered. But that's because he's like, you suck and I fucking hate you. Burn in hell, bitches. You know what I mean? Like when he says it in Jeremiah and Ezekiel and,
I'm going to be slightly fair here because I feel like the times where he's not going to deliver them is when they don't really believe in their heart.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So if we're going for fairness factor here,
right.
I think that it goes both ways, yes, but they do generally caveat that
it's situational.
Right. Yeah. They caveat that it has to be meant. You have to mean it.
Right. Exactly. Well, that actually kind of gets into the only other one, which is, should we rend our clothes? And I didn't choose that as an actual question because it's situational. He's saying, he's not saying, yes, rend your clothes. No, don't rend your clothes. He's saying, yeah, when you mourn, rend your clothes. But
you got to mean it.
No, not if you're being a fake ass.
Right.
So is that really a contradiction? I don't think so.
No, I'm going to go with it's not really a contradiction.
Right.
Because generally they lay it out pretty well.
I want the You're Always Wrong episodes to always have like concrete contradictions.
Right. We're atheists. Obviously we want it to be wrong.
Yeah. So like it's really exciting to be able to be like, haha, this book sucks and here's why.
No, but we also want to be fair.
Right. And that's why I'm like, we don't really have some good questions this time, guys.
No.
So they were either like the same stupid ones that we've always read at the end of every book.
Sure.
Or they were situational. And it's like, come on, person that put this list together, that doesn't count as a contradiction.
I'm going to say this. I can authoritatively say that up until this point in the Bible and through Joel, God is a dick.
Yeah.
And that is right. I am right on that account.
You know what? You are right, husband. He is indeed a dick. And there's just no getting around that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I feel like we hadn't called God a dick in a while.
No, we haven't. You're right.
So it felt necessary
it was due.
To bring it up again.
Yeah. Especially during this time of not having a lot of good questions.
Right.
God's a dick.
Well, and specifically in Joel, like he was killing a lot of people. He was not very nice.
No.
Until the last chapter.
And then he was like, and I might save some of you. When? Who knows?
Sure.
Ask all the apologists. They all have 10 different answers.
Right.
Are you ready for a pop quiz, husband?
Let's do it.
I mean, it's only 3 chapters, and I got a 60%.
Yikes.
Right?
I hope I do better.
I hope you do better as well.
I don't have a lot of confidence in that, but last time I beat you.
You did.
So.
You did. And you retain information better than I do.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
The only information I retain is that which I, for some reason, find super interesting, and it just sticks. And it sticks hard. And then I'm like, no, absolutely, I'm right. And this is what I was wearing that day. And this is what you ate. And like,
it's funny. You might even admit this. I don't think we've really talked about this before, but I feel like in the past, you thought you were always right about everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like through the course of doing this podcast, you might have learned that you're not always right. Wife might also sometimes be wrong.
I would say in the course of being married to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've taught each other that each other is not always right.
Sure.
Because we both have a very heavy sense of, come on, the people around me are stupid. Of course I know best. And generally that's true. But then we met our match in each other and we're like, well, I'm still almost always right, but sometimes I'm wrong, but just don't tell anybody, okay, partner?
Right.
And we're like, I promise.
Yeah, except for that now we're doing it live on our podcast.
Right, but that was our vows at our wedding. I promise never to tell anybody how fucking stupid you are.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
That's
actually.
because it didn't really happen.
Okay.
I can also lie with a straight face. It's another one of my skills. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
There's only 11 questions.
Okay.
Number 1. What shall the moon be turned to before the great and awesome day of the Lord, according to the book of Joel? Multiple choice. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Darkness, blood, fire, or snow. And for the ones playing at home, I'm going to reread it to give them a chance, okay?
Right. Yep.
What shall the moon be turned to before the great and awesome day of the Lord, according to the book of Joel? Darkness, blood, fire, or snow.
I take issue with the fact that he's great and awesome.
Because that's Oz, the great and terrible Oz. He's great and awesome.
But I'm gonna go with darkness.
Okay. I don't think that's right. I had picked blood, and blood wasn't right.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Who was Joel? And then I'll give you the multiple choice.
Jeff, Brian.
Right?
Zach.
Yeah. Geoff, Billy. Okay, he's either the son of Amos, the son of Joash, the son of Pethuel, the son of Hilkiah.
Okay,
and I'll ask it again for our friends listening at home.
Yeah.
Who was Joel? The son of Amos, the son of Joash, the son of Pethuel, the son of Hilkiah.
First of all, I think it's odd that we define who we are by our father.
Yeah.
In the Bible.
Yeah, you're not your own person.
Right. Yeah. But I think, if I'm recalling correctly, that it was Pethuel.
That is correct. And I got that one correct as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
According to Joel, what should the weak say? That's the truth about me. I am a warrior. The Lord will fight for me, or let the Lord be praised. And I'll repeat the question.
Yeah.
According to Joel, what should the weak say? That's the truth about me. I am a warrior. The Lord will fight for me, or let the Lord be praised.
I don't know the answer to this one, but I'm going to have to go with the weak will, or the Lord will fight for me.
Okay.
But again, I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
Number 4, according to Joel, how did the Lord react from Zion? Did he react with thunders, whispers, roars, or lights? I'll read it again.
Okay.
According to Joel, how did the Lord react from Zion? Thunders, whispers, roars, or lights?
I'm going to go with thunders because I think I remember that being the case, but again, I'm not. It's either that or roars, but I'm going to say thunders.
See, I missed so many that I literally can't remember which ones, except for the Pethuel was his father. I knew that one. In the book of Joel, this is number 5.
All right.
Where did the Lord say he will sit to judge the surrounding nations? The valley of Shittim, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Riverside, or on the throne of the king of Israel? And I'll read it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw your face. You're like, the fuck?
Right.
In the book of Joel, where did the Lord say he will sit to judge the surrounding nations? The valley of Shittim, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Riverside, or on the throne of the king of Israel?
I think, well, I mean, they were talking about the bringing all the people that he had sent out to kill the Israelites to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and he was going to judge them there. So I'm gonna go with Jehoshaphat. That's
what I picked, and I think that one was wrong, but I could be wrong about that being wrong.
Sure. You know? I mean, it's the wording about the throne of the king of Israel was weird because they did have kings.
Yeah.
So that one's a weird phrasing.
Yeah.
And I question it, but okay.
Right.
That's the only other one that I could think maybe it might be.
Yeah. I don't know.
But whatever.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6. What has eaten what the cutting locust has left? Remember, there's different kinds of locusts.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Was it a pig? Was it swarming locust? Was it frog? Or was it all of the above?
Well, this one's pretty easy, I think. I'm gonna go with swarming locust.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Because they only talked about. I mean, they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about pigs or frogs.
There were no other animals.
So,
yeah. Yeah. According to this is number 7.
Yeah.
According to Joel chapter 2, who shall dream dreams? I don't remember that at all.
I remember because I think I said something about dream a little dream for me or something like that.
Did you?
I think so.
Huh.
It was
I don't remember that.
At the very least, I said it just now. So
okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Right. So your choices are kings, judges, priests, or none of the above. Let me read it again.
Okay.
According to Joel chapter 2, who shall dream dreams? Kings, judges, priests, or none of the above?
I am going to go with priests.
I don't remember.
But again, I'm a little iffy on that one. So
I think I picked none of the above, but I think I got it wrong.
Okay.
So you might be right.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Number 8. Why were they asked to put in the sickle in the book of Joel? Was it because the enemy will soon invade? Famine is coming? The harvest is ripe? Or the pests are destroying the fruits? I'll ask it again.
Yeah.
Why were they asked to put in the sickle in the book of Joel? The enemy will soon invade? Famine is coming? The harvest is ripe? Or the pests are destroying the fruits?
I'm gonna go with the enemy will soon. The enemy's coming.
I think that's wrong.
Okay.
I think it's because the harvest is ripe is the right answer. But I got that one wrong because I guessed the wrong thing. But I don't remember what I guessed because I didn't know the answer for sure.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, number 9. What did the Lord call the swarming locust, hopper, destroyer, and the cutter in the 2nd chapter of the book of Joel? Did he call it his great destroyer, his bad pests, his great army, or his beloved creation? And I'll read it again.
Sure,
these are hard,
they
right?
Are, yeah.
Like, there's only 3 fucking chapters.
Well, and sometimes I wonder if it's because of the translation we're reading that we don't always know the answers to.
Yeah, I wonder about that also.
There's all kinds of different phrasings for different things.
So if you don't have the correct word, like... Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, so sometimes I take issue with some of these because I'm like, I don't know that I knew the answer for that.
Right. Like, if the question asks about ham, but the word they used was bacon, like, come on now. Come on.
Right.
Not that they use bacon or ham in the Bible, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
All right, number 9. What did the Lord call... Oh.
Wait, did we answer that one?
No, we didn't. I was supposed to read it again,
Yeah.
though. What did the Lord call the swarming locust, hopper, destroyer, and cutter in the 2nd chapter of the book of Joel? His great destroyer, his bad pests, his great enemy, or his beloved creation?
I'm going to go with his great destroyer.
Okay. I don't remember at all.
No, I got it.
Okay. Last question. Oh, there's only 10. I thought there were 11. That's even better.
Yeah.
Number 10. According to the book of Joel, how shall the day of the Lord come? like a thief in the night, as destruction from the Almighty, like a shepherd, as the dawning of the day. I'll read it again.
Okay.
According to the book of Joel, how shall the day of the Lord come? Like a thief in the night, as destruction from the Almighty, like a shepherd, or as the dawning of the day.
I'm going to go with as destruction from the Almighty thing.
All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah. I'm curious how bad I did.
Okay, let me see what score you got before we read each one.
Right.
Wow, you did even worse than me.
Awesome.
You got a 40%.
Jeez.
Success rate, generally speaking, the average is 61.39.
Below average on this one.
That's okay. I was too.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Rough.
Yeah. I was about average, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you failed it so fucking hard.
I did.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. This was a hard one.
Yeah.
And I think the ones I got right was either the Pethuel one, his father, was the only one that I was sure of.
Right.
Everything else I was like, whoa.
Well, there's such vague questions, but
Ready?
yeah, okay.
All right. Number 1. What shall the moon be turned to before the great and awesome day of the Lord, according to the book of Joel? You chose darkness. The answer was blood. Maybe that's one of the ones I got right. I thought I got it wrong, but yeah, it's blood.
Right.
And that was chapter 2, verse 31. The sun shall be turned to darkness. So it was the sun that turned to darkness.
Okay.
And the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes.
Got it.
All
I
right.
knew there was darkness in there somewhere.
It's the sun. That makes sense in retrospect.
Right.
Because when I took this quiz, I didn't read the scripts that are below it. I just wanted the score.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, who was Joel, son of Pethuel? And we both got it right.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not even going to read that one.
Right.
Number 3, according to Joel, what should the weak say? They should say, I'm a warrior. You got that wrong. You chose the Lord will fight for me. I got that one right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Chapter 3, verse 10, it was the whole turn your plows into swords because you're going to need all the help you can fucking get if you're taking on God. Go ahead and call yourself strong.
I kind of knew that that's the section it was from, but to say, I don't know, to call the weak strong, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Okay, whatever.
Well, here's what it says. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am a warrior.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
all right.
It actually is exactly that.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it was only an accident that I got that one right.
Got it.
Number 4, according to Joel, how did the Lord react from Zion? With thunders, whispers, roars, or lights?
Probably roars.
It's roars.
Of course.
You got that wrong because you chose thunders.
I did.
Chapter 3, verse 16 reads, the Lord roars from Zion and utters his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth quake. But the Lord is a refuge to his people, a stronghold to the people of Israel.
There was thunder in there somewhere, though.
There was.
I remember it.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly.
But that's why this is like they trick you with these questions. And I'm like, I knew that was in there somewhere.
You know what else? They ask questions that are like fucking inane and irrelevant. Like, who fucking cares?
Well, that's just it. Like, I feel like we should come up with our own Bible study quizzes for these things because I don't like their questions even.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I agree with you in theory, but I am so bad at coming up with test questions.
Right.
And I realized this when I was in college, and I would try to make up questions for myself to try to guess what a teacher might ask. I just couldn't, like, I would read the information and I'm like, how do I turn this into a quiz?
Right.
So I'm not your girl for that. Sorry. I'm not saying it's a thing that isn't or shouldn't be done. I'm saying that is not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, I got it.
All right. Number 5. In the book of Joel, where did the Lord say he will sit to judge the surrounding nations? And I am mistaken. You got this one right. It was the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Okay.
Which I can't remember now if I chose that or not, but it seems like I should have.
Right.
Okay. What has eaten what the cutting locust has left? We both got that one right. The swarming locust.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense. Yep. I will allow it.
Right.
Number 7. Oh, I got this one right. You got this one wrong.
Oh.
According to Joel chapter 2, who shall dream dreams? Kings, judges, priests, or none of the above? And you chose priests, and the answer was none of the above. Oh. And that's what I chose.
Okay.
That's exciting. This is fun going back through this. Sure. I'm like, did I do good there? Okay, so chapter 2, verse 28 reads, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit, yeah, you will, on all the flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions."
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Number 8. You got this one wrong.
Of course.
Why were they asked to put in the sickle in the book of Joel? You chose because the enemy will soon invade. The answer was the harvest is ripe.
Got it.
I got that one wrong. I think that I chose the same answer as you now that I'm thinking about it.
Right.
So chapter 3, verse 13 reads, "Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Go in, tread, for the winepress is full. The vats overflow, for their evil is
That's
great."
right. That was their feeling good chapter.
Feel good. Number 9. What did the Lord call the swarming locust, hopper, destroyer, and cutter in the 2nd chapter of the book of Joel? You got this one wrong. He called it his great army, but you chose his great destroyer.
Got it.
And I don't remember what I guessed and if I got it right or wrong.
Sure.
But chapter 2, verse 25 reads, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter, my great army, which I sent among you." Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, number 10. According to the book of Joel, how shall the day of the Lord come? You got this one right.
Oh.
As destruction from the Almighty. I had chosen like a thief in the night just because it sounded poetic. And you know I'm a sucker for poesy.
Right.
All right. That is that. We are fucking done with Joel.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, I do have to say, I really don't like the questions that they use in these things because they don't seem relevant to the overall, purpose of what we read.
Yeah.
I'm like, who gives a fuck about that?
These questions are like the power trip and teacher. Did you memorize everything? I bet you didn't.
Right.
Like, oh, I thought we were trying to learn, but what you want to do is a gotcha.
Sure.
That's not the same.
Yeah, like if you get the general theme, if you get the idea of what was happening and, like the important characters, I feel like that's good enough.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like I always thought that there should be somehow enough teachers ever in the world to just be able to have a discussion with each student and have them describe a lesson to you.
Yeah.
Just to see, did you get the main idea? Can you do critical thinking?
Yeah, like actual learning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because, okay, how many times, and maybe this is just me because, I've learned as an adult that I have autism. How many times as an adult or as a kid did you have to read a passage in literature and like for a test?
Yeah.
Usually they were like the state tests, I want to say.
Okay.
And so you didn't have a lot of time to like dig in and it wasn't from a book. It was just an excerpt, right?
Right.
And then the questions ask opinions about stuff. And I'm always like, well, I mean, it's this, but it could also be that. And then the choices, there's like 10 different multiple choice answers.
Right.
And some of them are like A and B, C, but not D,
right.
C and D. And it's like, oh my God, like I overthink every one of the questions and because they feel tricksy instead of, hey, let's talk about this passage and did you kind of get it? And what did you think about this thing?
See, I never stressed about multiple choice questions because I either knew it or I didn't. And if I didn't know it, it was just my best guess. So like those didn't bother me. The ones that bothered me, well, they were the easiest and the hardest. So if I didn't study for something,
the essay
questions, right? If I didn't study for something,
or the long
I'm
answer,
fucked,
not
right?
essay, but like,
I was fucked.
Yeah.
But if I did study for something,
you might not know
those
the
are
answer.
the easiest. Because
you can
even
bullshit.
if I just rudimentary, like basically just studied the gist of it.
Yeah.
I could answer the question and still get it, But the multiple choice, I'm just like, well, I either get it or I don't. You know? So. And
I think that's why, because I didn't fuss about the essay or the long answer, whatever. Like, those didn't bother me either because I can bullshit my way out of a bag.
Yeah.
But the multiple choice, like, that just bothered me. It bothered me because, like, I wanted to know, what is the answer?
Right.
Right? Like, what is the answer? Can we talk about this? Like, I wanted to go up to the instructor and be like, but can we talk about this when the test is done?
Right.
And they don't. And that to me is like not a good example of learning.
Right.
Like, here's a question. We'll never talk about it again. Hope that works out for you. And I'm like, but I wanted to know.
Yeah.
What and how did you reach that
I think that's the biggest problem with learning in cookie cutter kind of scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. Learning is not something that they necessarily care about.
No.
It's about
memorization and passing and state scores.
Yeah. So the whole, like, you know, I've got a thing where I've memorized like the helping verbs, and I couldn't actually sit there and tell you what they are, but I can rattle them off.
Go ahead. It's your favorite.
So, okay, helping verbs, everybody. Am, is, are, was, were, be, been, do, does, did, have, has, had, can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must.
I hate that so much because you rattle it off so fucking fast that nobody can understand what the fuck you're saying.
Right.
And you do it like every time even something vaguely even close to that area in conversation comes up, you're like, ooh, happy verse. And I'm like, why?
But no, but it's the point. It's an exercise in stupidity, right?
Right.
Like, I don't have any need for that in my brain, but it's there. Right.
Well, here's my problem. Like, I have zero ability to memorize things. I have to learn something, or I have to make up a mnemonic device or a jingle or like something that is a clue, like a workaround. Right. You know what I mean? A system, which is very autistic. You come up with workarounds. Everything's a transaction kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So things like memorizing the multiplication table, that didn't work for me.
Right.
I do not have the multiplication table memorized. What I have is the ability to count by numbers. So once I got up to my sixes, like I had to learn how to count by 6 in order to be able to tell you things like what is 6 times 7?
Sure.
Because I can't memorize. Like it's so much random data that I can't place it. Like I need to be able to picture where it belongs.
But I don't think necessarily memorization equates to learning.
It doesn't. That's my point.
So it doesn't really matter.
I actually learned why 6 times 7 is 42.
Right.
Because you can count by 6 7 times, or you can count by 7 6 times.
Sure.
The first time that I told my mom that, it blew her fucking mind. And I get it. Like, if you try to explain that to kids that are memorizing the times tables, you know, they're like, what? Oh.
Right.
Like, I have a better understanding of how numbers slide into each other.
Sure.
Because I had to learn how to count by the numbers rather than just memorize these random fucking numbers that make no goddamn sense.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my prime example of memorization versus learning, and that learning is so much better because you actually understand. It takes
even
longer.
The alphabet. We have to memorize the alphabet.
Right? Yeah.
But like, what practical purpose does that really have other than alphabetizing something?
Right.
Right.
Which a lot of kids, this surprises me, a lot of kids have problems finding stuff in a dictionary because they don't understand alphabetization. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, they know if it starts with an A, it's in the A's.
Right.
But then after that, like, they don't know that you go to the next letter.
Huh.
And I found that when Kid was in elementary school, one of the school years, I volunteered and helped kids that were, like, struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, I would just sit out in the hallway with them and, like, we go over spelling words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I discovered that, like, kids cannot. They cannot, yeah. And, like, another thing, I know this is so way off topic. Another thing is that the teachers would give me these assignments to work with the kids, and they were all game-based, which game-based learning is a thing. If you can make learning fun,
right,
absolutely. But these particular games, like, served no purpose. They didn't help.
Right.
And so I was like, hang on. What you actually need is fucking practice. Yeah. Like, you just need to write this word several times and then you'll get it, because you can sound things out. Like, I've worked with you on these other words. You know how to do this.
Right.
You don't need to be farting around with these other fucking pointless assignments where you lose track of why you're trying to do this.
Sure.
So I would just have them like, first, I'll call off all your spelling words, right? And then we'll see what you know. And we're just going to put those words aside. You got those.
Yeah.
Like, but they wanted me to practice all of them. And I'm like, I'm not wasting your time or mine, kid. If you know these, if you only have problems with half of the words,
right,
that's half the battle already won.
Yeah.
And plus you're telling the kid like, oh my God, you're doing so good. I thought you weren't going to know any of these, but you already know half of them.
Right.
That's awesome. And then we would just concentrate on the other 10.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, I am not exactly the smartest cookie in the jar. I don't know why I can come up with that. And, you know, actual people with master's degrees couldn't.
It's something inherently wrong in the system.
Yeah.
You know, that's a whole
an
other
entirely
conversation.
Different. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do we have anything else to add about the Bible?
No, I'll stop.
Okay. All right. So that finishes us out for Joel.
Bye, Joel.
Yeah, and I will be, the weekly wrap-up will be coming out tomorrow. You may have noticed that things are a little behind. So basically, we're going to be starting the new book midweek-ish.
Right.
And we're just not going to worry about it because we fell behind, and this allows us time to get the things we need done.
And it's standard for us at this point, and we're just not going to feel bad and beat ourselves up. We're just going to do our best to keep showing up.
Well, and the problem is that when we release an episode, when we do like the multiple releases on the same day, we still just end up falling back behind because we were already behind.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense to do that.
Exactly.
So we're just going to go from here.
Yep.
And move forward.
And it be what it be.
And it be what it be.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to us rant about everything.
I do.
And we will be back, like I said, tomorrow with the weekly wrap up. And then we'll be back after that with the first book of...
I can't remember his name. No, like I've looked at it 3 different times. The first time you asked me, I couldn't remember. And it came up in chat. It was in our live Discord.
Yeah.
And some of our fun Discord listeners helpfully put it, and like I saw it, but it would not stick in my head. Is it Amos? Maybe
I'm looking it up right now so that we can tell everybody.
Okay,
but it is Amos. Yes.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
it finally stuck.
So, I said, weekly wrap up, and then the first chapter of Amos will be coming up after that.
I might even remember it.
You might.
Huh?
You might. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
At Leidos, a brilliant mind is smart, but a brilliant team is smarter. A ship that finds enemy subs is smart, but an autonomous fleet, that's smarter. Defending against cyber attacks? Smart. Stopping attacks before they start? Smarter. And using AI tools is smart, but integrating trusted mission AI into your technology is smarter. We're not just making technology solutions in national security and health. We're making smart smarter. Leidos.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.